2 o'clock, so I'm going to call the commission meeting for Wednesday, June 18th.
Hey, let's quiet down back there. We're starting the meeting.
2 p.m. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I've asked Commissioner Watson to lead us in the invocation and Commissioner Cook to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd all stand, I'd appreciate it.
Father, we just come before you today and we thank you for the opportunity to serve the citizens of our county. We thank you for these employees that are being recognized for their service to the Brunswick Joint Water Sewer Commission and the families they represent. I ask that you keep all of our employees safe as they're out in the field and working to improve the lives and the quality of lives in our community. We ask all this in your son's name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We don't have any public comment. Now we have employee recognitions. Jacob Mason. Jacob has 6 years' experience with Joint Water and Sewer Commission. He served as a water operator 3, has 3 years of water distribution experience, 2 years of procurement experience, and 1 year of water production experience. Which of those did you like the best? He is a Class 2 operator, as he's going to get his recognition today. He's also got a water distribution operator license and a water operator Class 3 license. He enjoys working at BGJWSC because of commitment to growth, technical skills, and operational excellence. We're glad you work with us. Let me read this. Georgia Association of Water Professionals 2025 Top Water Operator of the Year for outstanding and innovative performance in the field of water operations in GAP District 8. The Georgia Association of Water Professionals recognizes Jacob Mason, signed Daniel Carter, GAWP President, and Belinda Folks, GAWP District Directors Coordinator. That's quite an accomplishment. Congratulations. Donnie's his supervisor. Donnie, can you say something nice about Jacob?
Jacob's a good worker. He's he does everything he's asked. Goes above and beyond. He kind of sets an example of what if you have them set to go do something, you can depend on him.
We like most of that. Take a picture. You know, the good thing, providing real clean water to everybody. So clean. And they really need you. We appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Next one we're going to recognize is Michael Mock.
He's not here.
Transit, but he will be
Transit.
here. Yes, sir. May we move him to the end of the program and proceed
Okay,
with the
then
next candidate?
David Grantham.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
It's your fault.
David has been with us over 11 years, and he's currently serving as Assistant Director of Wastewater Maintenance. Does that mean you work under him?
I do, yes, sir.
Okay. Prior to this, he has worked as SCADA Systems Administrator and a water operator. He also enjoys solving problems once with it. ones with successful long-term solutions. David is our go-to person, right, Andrew?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
If we have an issue, we go to David, and he can usually solve it.
I always try to.
He can usually solve it. We got to work on the budget, though.
But he'll learn. That's a little bit our position, so he's got to think about that.
That's right.
I just have to ask nicely.
Yeah. But David really likes SCADA. He likes electrical stuff and things that a lot of us don't have any idea. But it's the most important thing, because we don't have that, nothing works. So we appreciate everything you do. Let me read what this is. State of Georgia Board of Examiners for Certification of Water and Wastewater Treatment Plant Operators and Laboratory Analysts certifies that David Burt Grantham, having given satisfactory evidence of the necessary qualifications as required by the laws of the state of Georgia, has been duly certified as a wastewater operator class 2 in the state of Georgia. Signed by Margaret Doss, the 18th day of June, and the interim director, I'm not sure his name, and Brad Rasmusberger, Secretary of State. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Bert, you want to say something about David?
You and Mr. Burrows already said a lot about him. He is our go-to guy. I've had the pleasure of working with him the whole time I've been here. He's been a pleasure to work with. He's very knowledgeable, and he's continually broadened his horizons. And we would be at a loss without him. So we're glad to see him increase his licensure and head for the next one.
We enjoy his passion too, and you know, I met him outside of LaDonna's office. He said, "I gotta go say hello to my mama. She's right here." So I mean, on his way here, he had to go make sure he said hello to his mother. So she works here, so I know she's proud of him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Mock is here. Mr. Mock is here.
Okay, Michael Mock. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
What plant you work at?
Down at Academy Creek.
Okay. I've seen you out there, I think. What do you do out there?
I'm the systems analyst.
What's that mean?
Monitor SCADA, and also we'll get into camera work, stuff that Eric White was doing, I will start doing as well.
You know everything about the Academy Creek plant?
No, sir.
He knows most of it, but everything, I don't think any of us know all of it.
But you're learning a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been working in?
Since 2018.
Okay. You have 7 years' experience. So that was 7 years. All at Academy Creek. Is that
Yep.
right? He's learned how to uplift. He's proficient in studying trends and analyze data to troubleshoot lift station issues. What's the biggest lift station issue?
Home size pumps.
Is that right?
He's found a few. When you do the drawdown and half the flow's coming out it's supposed to, it's time to start asking questions.
See, we as a commission, we need to understand these things,
absolutely.
because we gotta approve these new pumps, or these purchase pumps to replace other pumps, right, John? Okay, and you also spent 8 years in Iraq testing water for the U.S. Army. Tell me about that.
Went over in 2004 and was a senior lab tech, trained the lab techs, had a test for the water and then for the ice. The ice was classified as a food, so it's considered municipal.
And you're an independent contractor over there?
KBR.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. Except for when the motors
Ice
came
is
in.
pretty important over there.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let me read this. This is really good. State of Georgia Board of Examiners for Certification of Water and Wastewater Treatment Plant Operators and Laboratory Analysts certifies that Michael Wayne Mock, Jr., having given satisfactory evidence of the necessary qualifications as required by the laws of the state of Georgia, and duly certified as a wastewater operator class 2 in the state of Georgia, signed Margaret Doss, this 18th day of June 2025. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Say something about it?
Yeah, Michael's actually got a lot more depth than he applies to all the things that he is. He has worked with Xerox plant, familiar with the process. He systems analyst title. If you actually look at everything he's supposed to do, it's like quadrant. We have tapped into Mike's expertise to a certain degree, but his chemical background, chemistry, utilizes the system control program, identifying shortfalls. The collection system has a lot of his property now restructuring is also
Like wastewater. We needed the class 2 up. Tell me about the plan in Jackson.
It was the paper mill, Smurfit Stone, and that was a Xerox system.
And what's that? Was it industrial?
It was industrial. We could do 30 million gallons a day.
It was big.
Yes.
Okay. It was a big help at Academy Creek. Congratulations. Enjoy having you
Thank
work
you,
there.
sir.
Leadership class, and then we have our retiree we want to recognize. Thank you, Chairman.
All right, so this is a new program that we started last July. I sent out a note to all of our team and asked them if they would want to be part of a new leadership development program at Joint Water and Sewer. And the goal of the program is to develop more leaders in our organization so that when we have retirements or vacancies, people are ready to step up. Because oftentimes in our industry, what ends up happening is the most technically competent person is the person selected, but they have no formalized leadership training or management training or anything like that. So they're trying to learn 2 jobs at once all of a sudden. So we're trying to get out ahead of that. The other thing we're trying to do is eliminate some of our blind spots that we have throughout our organization, because we do the same things every day, but we don't always interact with all the other groups. So we originally started with 10. We had 9 that finished the program. And what we did for the first Friday of every month, for the morning, we went to one of our operating groups. We have 8 operating groups. So we went out to tour wastewater plants, we went to well facilities, we went to distribution, we went to pump stations and watched them jet lines. We talked about what we do from admin and IT. We talked about finance. Todd went through all the things we do on capital projects, went to tour a couple of capital projects we have. We also talked about purchasing. And how we have to bid things and buy things. A lot of that stuff people don't interact with every day. And then we got back in the afternoon and we did 2 things every afternoon following lunch. We would talk about a big picture topic, like some of the stuff we're talking about today. Most of our team members really don't put a whole lot of thought into how we go about buying insurance. But as you grow in the organization, those become more key things you're going to have to deal with. So we try to let them experience things like that, master planning, HR, all these things to give them opportunities to ask questions and do different scenarios. And we also did a leadership training book called Lead, Develop, Care. There's 3 functions of a leader: is to lead and make sure we're aligned, is to develop your employees, which is part of this program, and to care for your employees. So we went through that at the end of every session. So it was 10 months. We're going to take a break for the months of July and August. We'll ask for another cohort to come through in July. But this is our first graduating class of our leadership development program. Now, not all 9 of them were able to make it. Some of them, unfortunately, still have to be at the plant and things like that. But I do want to recognize the ones that made it, and these are in alphabetical order. So our first is Miss Annette Corneely, who is a planning and development coordinator in planning and construction. And Miss Annette brought a unique perspective to us with a bit of a corporate background that she's got in the way things are done there versus done in the government. So she helped facilitate a lot of great discussion during that period. So what was your favorite thing about the program?
My favorite thing.
I mean, lunch is an acceptable answer.
I mean, I think the favorite thing is I, in my job, don't get to integrate with ops on a daily basis. So I don't even know all their faces and names. So that was really enjoyable to meet some of them and get into their whole different way of life.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Annette. Our next graduate is Ms. Krista Free, our procurement coordinator. She has also been the interim clerk for the last 2 months. And Krista, what was your favorite thing about the program?
I liked getting the different perspectives on the different employees from the other departments.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for going through the program for us. All right, he's not here, but Jackson O'Quinn is a wastewater operator class 3. He was unable to join us today. Luke Orser-Swam is our finance manager. Now, Luke, what was your favorite thing?
I really enjoyed the water production facility.
Okay.
Yes, that was really nice.
Yeah, we went to a water production facility, and we also put a diffuser on a hydrant and sprayed water everywhere. It was great fun. So, all right, well, very good. Thank you, Luke. Harry Patel, our assistant engineer. Planning and construction. All right, Harry, what was your favorite thing?
Just getting a better understanding of what other departments did on a day-to-day basis is the most I like, for sure.
Oh, fantastic. So that'll help you do your role because you interact with all the departments now, and now if you understand better how they work, that helps out a lot.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Our next one is Dana Reed, our GIS analyst. All right, Dana, you're up. What's your favorite thing?
My favorite part was just the openness that you and Ms. Ladonna provided to the group. We had a lot of open discussion, and there really wasn't any boundaries.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. All right, thanks, Dana. Not able to join us today is Miss Tina Rupi, who was a Class 2 operator at Academy Creek. But our next one is Mr. Mark Whitlow, who is a Class 1 operator, our sole Class 1 operator. Now official member of GAWP and fixing to join the GAWP wastewater committee is my understanding.
Yes.
So he's about to share his knowledge with the rest of the state. But he's at Dunbar Creek. So what was your favorite part about the experience?
I enjoyed seeing the other departments as well. You know, as a wastewater operator, I don't get off the plant very much, so it was nice to see the way the other departments worked and fit into the company.
Well, fantastic. Appreciate you going through the program for us. Absolutely. And then our last graduate was Frances Wilson, our accounting manager. She was unable to be here today as well. But a great congratulations to the 9 that got through the program. To Dana's point, there was a lot of very open and honest discussion about how scenarios unfold and how we think is the best way to approach that. And I hope all of them take the skills they learn in order to become a leader where they currently are, even if that next step is not available right now. So they all made commitments, and I didn't ask you what that commitment was. I should have. At the end of the program of what they're going to do in the next 3 months to lead where they're at. So they all made commitments the last day. So we expect great things from these 9 individuals in the very coming months. And Ms. LaDonna, anything you'd like to say?
We just wanted to get a group picture if we could
Yeah.
before we let
Sure.
everybody go. 'Cause I know that's
Absolutely.
what I asked you. So.
You gonna share those commitments with the superintendents?
No, it's all right. I mean, the range up was what happens at the leadership committee.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that it?
Sure, Chris has got her. It's fine.
In front of us so we can, they don't see it. There you go, Luke's in office, there you go.
Thank you all very much. We do have boxes for your slacks.
Very nice little satin lined boxes, so if you'll come by and see me later, we'll be happy to pick up for you. Or do you want to grab yours before you go? Since you're headed back. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, Adina, do you mind if Mark goes ahead and gets his? Okay. All right, sir. Thanks. Yes.
I'm kind of sorry to see this happen, but we have a fellow who's retiring, and his name is Mr. Bankston. Can you come forward? I want to say something. When I first got on the commission, I mentioned to Andrew and I wanted to go tour the water system and also the sewer system. And this fellow took me around all over the place. And he's very knowledgeable about the water system. And now, after 15 years of dedication and excellent service, he's going to be retiring. What's your last day here?
June the 30th.
What are you going to do August, July 1st?
Sleep late.
Second too?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
But he's got a thriving hot pepper
I got,
business.
got a few things lined up. I'm
Okay.
not sure exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, this is a retirement award presented to James D. Bankston, known as Donnie, in appreciation for your 15 years of dedication and excellent service, 2010 to 2025. Congratulations on the real mission.
Come on, Don, you're retiring. You can smile bigger than that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to give a short speech so you can think about what you're going to say.
Okay.
So, we'll make this contest. All right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure working with Donnie during our time together. He was here, obviously, when I got here 7, 8 years ago. But Donnie is a very calm person, which is a great thing to have in a superintendent, because when things start going chaos, sometimes you need that calming presence in the room. And if we're being honest, sometimes not just for his staff, but for me losing my mind in the middle of the moment, for Donnie just, well, hang on, we got this, don't worry about it. But Donnie has constantly preached a common sense approach to his team, and he's been very successful with his new teammates. We saw Jacob get recognized. We've got multiple people get new licenses under his guidance. And he's had great success in that endeavor. And the biggest compliment that I can give him is I never had to worry about what was going on with the water system under his leadership. If something happened, he'd call me, let me know what was going on. But he did his job, and I didn't have to follow behind him every day trying to make sure he was doing his job. Personally, I'm going to miss you, Donnie. We meet every Wednesday for half an hour. Enjoy those conversations. And I know the rest of your team and the team here in this building will. Good luck. Congrats on your pending retirement and your great accomplishment. Don't be a stranger. And I know you got a CDL, so there's always an opportunity for you. So.
I think he gets a raise today.
But I'd just like to say I appreciate the opportunity that Sewer has given me to move up and grow with the company, and all the support and leadership from the from management all the way down to the field crews, because we have a smaller department, so a lot of times it requires people from other departments to come in and help us complete our work. And I don't want to call names because I'll leave people out. I mean, anyone that has ever provided help, I just want to say I appreciate it.
Matt got his class 1 today. Well, he passed the test. He got it back.
That's good.
Fantastic on Matt.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank
We
you, sir.
miss you.
Mr. Mike Fields was unable to attend today. Apparently, the vote was calling his name.
I don't get to say anything on that?
So you can, Todd would like to say a lot of very polite and nasty things about Mike, so it's good to show him. Yeah, go ahead.
Never give up a chance to talk about. No, yeah, truth be told, Mike's not here, but Staff Sergeant Field is probably sitting in the back of a C-130 somewhere. International incidents going on. I think Uncle Sam's probably reactivated him in some fashion to take care of stuff. But Mike came on, when I came on in 15, I was asked, hey, we need a senior inspector. First person that came to my mind was somebody I'd known in the past. I actually worked with the Glynn County. Mike Fields was that guy. He came on and was successful in getting the job. Dependable. Mike's a man that knows what's going on in the field. His favorite thing to say to me was, boss, you pay me to be nosy. So anyway, biggest thing I say to Mike, 10 years, job well done. So thanks, Mike, wherever you are. Take care of business. Thank you.
We have committee updates after, is the next thing on the agenda. But since everyone was here for the facilities and the finance combined meeting, we will not go through the updates. The next item is the approval section of the agenda. Item 1 is minutes from the May regular meeting.
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Item 2, minutes from the May executive session.
Chairman, I'll also make a motion on this that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Second, all in favor? I want to make a motion to exempt Lance Savvy, Commissioner, from, he has duties with the city today, interviewing a new police chief or something, I believe.
I'll second the motion.
Motion carries. Item 3 is employee health insurance renewal. Mr. Burrs and Ms. Tanner.
Yes, sir. We talked about this at the Facilities and Finance meeting this morning. We, as you're aware, in 2020, we migrated to a self-funded from a fully funded insurance program with United Healthcare. And we've recently increased individual stop-loss totals to $150,000, and that we have held biweekly deductions the same as they were for the most recent fully funded insurance renewal in 2021. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Tyndall with First Coast Benefit Solutions to go through some of the changes that are being proposed to our particular insurance plans.
Great, thank you so much. I will keep this brief. I know we all went over this just a few hours ago in committee. I did want to offer my services. If there are employees that would like to know more about insurance, I'll have as long of a meeting as you would like.
We'll get you in here next year.
Yeah, okay. That's a wonderful program and very forward thinking. A lot of organizations don't think about that part of the leadership development. They may know how to do the job, but that's wonderful. I might need to implement that in my own office. So, we had a little bit of a rough claims year, and so our insurance company came back and initially would not offer us stop-loss insurance. As you all know, we moved to a self-funded plan in 2020. We've saved about $1.4 million in doing so. This is probably the roughest year, primarily due to prescription claims, which run in about 47% of the claims are prescriptions. That's just you can see that the claims projection from 24-25, because we won't have it until the end of August, is around 1.8 million. We did shop around the dental, vision, disability, and life insurance, and we will be making some changes there. On the dental, we will be adding white composite fillings, which is much more the standard. It's $1 more. We received an increase in the dental because we did move it last year and brought the pricing down quite a bit. Of course, a 15 to 18% increase in dental is about $2. So when it's a small number, a large increase isn't as impactful. We did shop that out, though, in the market and did not find any other carriers in the major market that could compete. So we know we're in a good place if no other competitor can match that. We are going to be, it's a little different than on the memo and in the PowerPoint, we will be moving to Mutual of Omaha where it says MetLife because they came in and matched. That way we can have a cohesive relationship between the life and the disability. God forbid anyone ever have short-term disability that moves into long-term disability, and even worse, may lead to death. It's nice when it's all tied together with the same company if the budget fits, simply because it makes the experience for the person and their family to be a little more seamless, because that information, it doesn't have to be submitted. It's already in the system, starting from that short-term disability all the way on. Any questions at all about this particular slide? And then we just move, thank you. Then we just move to the information. We did shop out that stop loss, like we said. We did have a decline from several different carriers, and the top two bids were Symetra Life and also Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway, as I said earlier, was about 50% more on the stop loss, so they're no-go. And Symetra was the best bid. They're an 8-rated company. We vetted them. United Healthcare works with them seamlessly. The experience from the employee standpoint is going to be the same ID card. same prescription carrier, same network. No one will have to change their doctors, so they're not going to see anything. All of the changes will be in the back end, and that'll be all something that the leadership team and Vanessa Shearer and her team at Teamwork Services in my office will work on together. We'll have employee meetings after 4th of July, and in going over that with them, we'll just simply talk about the benefits, which will include the 75% reimbursement on the deductibles that you all have had for several years, and that means that the $1,500 deductible is actually a $375 deductible. The $3,500 deductible is an $875 deductible, and anyone that chooses the high deductible health plan, HSA, does not get a reimbursement because the IRS won't allow it. We do have about 16 employees on the 1,500 plan, 72 on the 3,500, which is a sweet spot plan, and 13 people that are on that high deductible health plan. A few things we talked about on the prescription is we are looking into a pharmacy management system, but we want to vet that process and make sure that it's something that's going to be helpful to the employees and not a hindrance in them getting those medications, but also at a cost savings. And so we'll be working on that in the next couple of months as we continue to get claims data in, and that way it's very we've looked at the entire year and we can see if anything drops off. Looking at the claims information, we don't believe that 2 of the largest claimants are going to be repeated and have a reoccurrence for next year. So we're hopeful that although you might see the expected or projected claims, which is not a real number, it's a projection, is higher, we're hoping that that won't be the case, and we'll be tracking that as we do monthly all through the year. We're always looking and monitoring things all through the year. We just come once a year to talk about this, but again, I'm always happy to talk about it. Any questions at all?
Ms. Taylor, I just want to say that we really do appreciate all the work you've done for us and your staff.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I always appreciate that. I've been fortunate enough to work with you all since this organization started from the city and the county, that started off from a conversation at a Washington fly-in from the chamber. So I was there then, and I'm happy to be here now. And if there's anything I can do for you, I'm happy to. Mr. Burrows, did you have anything? Mr. Burrows, did you want to mention anything about any changes?
Yes, sorry. With the expected increase in claims of $379,000, I'm recommending for biweekly deductions for the employee health insurance that those be increased by 10%. That 10% number will generate from employees about $35,000 based off of current usage, and it works out to about $14.45 on average for every employee, because we have 70 people in that $3,500 plan, and the bulk of those are on the single coverage on that $3,500 plan. In the back of your packet, and Mr. Donna, if you can scroll down, you'll see what those new rates would be. We are recommending maintaining dental rates at the exact same rate they were last year due to savings found with the life and disability insurance. And the visit insurance, joint water and sewer does not contribute to, so there was a slight increase, but all deductions will increase less than $1 per pay period.
Have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the commission renew the employee insurance coverages to be effective August 1st, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Second, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Next item is fiscal 2026 rate resolution. Mr. Burrows.
Yes, sir. Every June, we present the annual rate resolution that includes all of the charges and fees that are associated with the water and sewer business. We present the budget for the first time as a draft in March and for final approval in April. We then submit that budget to the city and the county for review and comment, and then we hold annual town hall meetings, which occurred last week on Wednesday and Thursday evenings. This rate resolution will support the budget, and there are very few changes. The major note here is there is no increase to usage rates for typical water and sewer customers. The only things that are changing, the industrial fees for BOD and TSS have been adjusted based off the rolling average of 3-year cost. That is for industrial customers that discharge a BOD and TSS in excess of 200 milligrams per liter. Septic discharges are being increased from 8 cents to 10 cents a gallon. Those are only accepted at Academy Creek, and so there was a removal of language of accepting septic discharges at Dunbar and Southport. So that's for customers that have septic tanks. Somebody comes out and pumps their septic tank, they dispose of that waste at the wastewater plant, and there's a charge for that. Hydrant meter rental, if there's a construction project going on, oftentimes those contractors will come rent a fire hydrant meter from us so they can get water during construction under a fire hydrant. We charge a deposit for the cost of the meter to replace it should that hydrant meter be damaged or lost, and that has been increased to $23.39, up from $2,200, and that is simply the increased cost of the meter. And you will get that hydrant meter rental deposit back when you give the hydrant meter back. So that's that money is returned to you very quickly once you bring it back. Installation fees for water and sewer meters have increased, and I'll show you the differences. We went through this in the earlier today meeting. And those have increased solely because of the cost of brass. The fittings and things in the brass has went up almost 40%. So we are not increasing our labor charges associated with installing meters. This is all for the parts associated with that. So you see the changes there, $765 for a 5/8, $965 for a 1-inch, $28.95 for a 1.5, and $32.60 for a 2-inch. And you'll notice there's different charges for irrigation. And for the 1.5 and 2-inch meters on irrigation, they're lower than the standard water install. That is because if you have a 1.5 or 2-inch irrigation, you're required to provide your own backflow preventer. And so we don't have to provide the backflow or the setter to install the backflow and meter together. We've updated some language on the way labor rates are charged for requested work by private entities, adding the word crew instead of per hour. It's per crew hour, so that's a 3-person crew per hour for a portable generator. And then 4 new pieces of equipment that we use all the time, but there was just never a charge for. These are the FEMA charges for that, so that is where these charges came from. That's an equipment trailer, a portable light tower, a dump truck, and a dump trailer. And I believe that's all of them, is it not, Ms. LaDonna? And so we did obviously update the administrative things, the dates and things of that in there, but we recommend approving this rate resolution to maintain existing monthly usage rates and fees for residential and commercial customers to be the same.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the attached rate resolution for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026.
Second. Second, any questions?
Curiosity question. How come we don't take septic tanks at Southport?
There is no influence station at Southport, so everything is pumped into Southport, so there is no way to actually get that in there without installing a on-site pumping station for that, which would be quite the expense. If you ever design a wastewater plant, always have an influence station. Just throwing that out there.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by raising your hand. 6 to nothing. Thank you, Andrew. Next item is CDL policy revision. Mr. Burrs.
So this impacts 2 policies associated with our human resources standards of practice. Section 5.6 deals with education assistance, and 6.2 deals with the employee pay plan. Currently, if a team member acquires a Class A or B commercial driver's license, they receive a one-time incentive of $200 and $175, whether they get a Class A or B. And however, like the employees that just got the next level license on their wastewater operator licenses, or last month we notified some people of water operator increases, they get a 5% raise because that generates a lot more flexibility for us for how we can man the system. CDLs are required depending on the type and weight of vehicles being driven. Currently, the equipment that we have that require CDLs include the VACCONs, dump trucks, sludge hauling truck, and some crew trucks with trailers when the weight exceeds 26,000 pounds. This heavily impacts operations on water distribution and wastewater, particularly those field crews at the plants, not so much, but the field crews, all of those vehicles just about require CDLs. They play a key role in emergency response. Obviously, we run VACCONs nonstop during emergency response, but we also have to transport fuel during emergency response, and those vehicles require CDLs as well. The proposed policy changes that I have set before you today is to eliminate the one-time stipend for the CDL, and as part of doing that, we'll also eliminate a one-time $200 incentive to get your GED, because we have not had that utilized in the 7 years that I've been here. So we haven't hired anybody that didn't already have a GED or a high school diploma during that period. But instead, of giving them the one-time stipend, my recommendation is we add commercial driver's license for Class A and B to eligible certifications. On the 5% rule, this will allow employees to get that license. It gives us a tremendous amount more flexibility to get that. The other thing this will do, the change here, you see a strike through on underground storage tank operator. We had, within the last 5 years, we had 2 underground storage tanks at well facilities that stored fuel. Those have to be constantly monitored by a licensed storage tank operator. Well, Mr. Bankston has left, but he was able to remove those 2 in the last 6 months, and so we have no more underground storage tanks, so there's no need for that license. One additional request is that the existing 21 CDL drivers working for the JWSC have this 5% bump given to them July 1st as well. And since new employees that got it would get the 5%, that would increase total wages by $61,221.97 or $1.40 per hour. We are working through a program to get CDL training started here to avoid an 8-week off-site training program. So you should be seeing information on that in the next couple of months as well. So the request is update sections 5.6 and 6.2 as shown in the red lines.
Motion.
I move that the commission recommend approving the amendment of JWSC HRSOP sections 5.6 and 6.2 as shown in the attached.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Next is Academy Creek grit classifier auger replacement. Mr. Harris?
Yes, so the grit system at Academy Creek uses an auger to take grit out of the system and dump it into a container before it's taken to the landfill. As it rotates up, it classifies the different size grits and allows larger things to fall back out and also allows water to drain back out. But it works like a standard auger, screw auger would do. And the current one is very worn and the fins are about 1/3 the size they're supposed to be. So it is not removing a whole lot of grit at this point. Lead time on getting it replaced from the manufacturer was excessive. And so we actually approached K Machine about manufacturing a part for us. They provided 2 quotes, one for $23,030 to make that auger out of carbon steel and install it. And then what we're recommending is to go to stainless steel for $25,900 for just shy of $2,000 on increase. That's a very wise decision for our, just shy of $3,000, a very wise decision. So the recommendation is to award a contract to K Machine to manufacture and install a new stainless steel auger for the grit classifier at Academy Creek in the amount of $25,900. And this work can be completed prior to the end of the fiscal year and will come out of the FY25 budget.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the construction and installation of a new stainless steel auger for the grit classifier at Academy Creek wastewater plant by K Machine Industrial Services, LLC, in the amount of $25,900.
I'll second.
Second, any questions?
Is this auger, are the fins pressed on the auger or are they machined out of a
They're
solid?
machined out of a solid block. But that abrasive environment, the ends of it start corroding and it just wears it down.
Carries 6-0. Thank you. Next item is Pump Station 4021 pumps purchase. Mr. Burrs.
Pump Station 4021 is in front of the now closed Sonic on Altama Avenue. It receives all of the flow from the Altama Avenue area, as well as flow from upstream stations on Old Cypress Mill, Scranton Connector, and the residential areas out Altama Connector going towards Fletsey. We did a complete rehab of the station in 2021 and installed 2 new Grundfos pumps as part of the project. We have had extensive issues with motors and electronics with the Grundfos pumps. There have been 3 repairs made to date, and the repairs have not been exceedingly expensive, but they have taken quite a lot of time. And when a pump is out for repair, we rent bypass equipment to provide backup pumping. And we have spent just shy of $100,000 on bypass pumping equipment since 2021 with these 3 repairs. Another repair is needed on the Grundfos pump, this time actually on the pump end and not the motor, but the quote to repair the Grundfos pump is $24,945. Staff went out and got quotes to replace that pump. The best combination of price and lead time is Hydro Service with the pump manufactured by the Solzer Company, $31,165.50. We are actively renting bypass equipment at this time with the pump out. We actually staff is requesting we purchase 2 of these Sulzer pumps to eliminate those Grundfos pumps from the system, given the recurring issues that we've had. With an 8-week lead time, this will be funded out of FY26 budget. Total cost is $62,331. And apologies on the motion there, so please make sure that motion is that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission purchase, not recommend purchasing.
Motion?
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission purchase
Thank you.
2 Sulzer pumps for Pump Station 4021 from Hydra in the amount of $62,331.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you.
All right, Todd, you're up.
We had some infrastructure dedications this morning too, and both the joint committee approved the Virginia Drive Force Main dedication of infrastructure, the Horton Van Velzen Franklin Force Mains dedication of infrastructure, the LTCT Car Wash US 341 DBA Classic Car Wash dedication of infrastructure and easement, Bucky's dedication on infrastructure and easement, and Cordeleu Lakes dedication of infrastructure and easement. Mr. Klein is here if somebody has any questions. Otherwise, I'm open for a motion.
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve these requests to accept infrastructure and easements with associated documentation.
Second.
Motion second. Any other questions at all? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Executive Director's update.
My update, I'd like to officially welcome Ms. Adina Wilder as our new commission administrator. So thank you for joining us on the whirlwind day of having both meetings on the same day. Next month will not be quite this chaotic, but welcome aboard to Adina.
We do ask that you give a 5-minute speech on
Yeah.
why you want to be at Joint Water and Sewer.
Hey, now she can
so,
do it now.
Impromptu. No.
Now or next meeting?
We can defer if you like. All right.
Also do want to congratulate Donnie and Mike Fields on their retirement at the end of the month. Job well done over many years of service, and both of them will be sorely missed here at the Joint Water and Sewer Commission. But that is my update.
Discuss.
I just want to ask that Andrew have a very nice vacation. Those who were delayed.
It is, yes, sir.
We are looking into the same trip, and I do see the 9-hour flight.
Yes.
ahead of you, so have a great time, and thanks for all you do for here.
I appreciate that, sir.
Else? For the chairman's update, I want to express my appreciation to Andrew for the leadership program that he's implemented. I happened about 2 weeks ago to walk by, and I saw him in here with, I just sat in the back seat for about 30 minutes of it and listened, and then they broke off into sections, and so that gave me a chance to escape. But it was really good. Andrew was really teaching them and giving everybody an opportunity to work as a team leader, and they'd have different teams all throughout, so it was a really good program, and I just want to commend you for starting that program. And I think it's going to Joint Water and Sewer that much.
Yes, sir, I think so too. Thank you.
Community.
Appreciate the folks that joined up the first time without really knowing what was going on. So.
And I'm impressed with the little tea drops they got over
It looked the closest to a water drop I could find.
there. We won't talk about what they cost.
Yeah.
Also, there is a Georgia Association of Water Professionals Conference coming up in Savannah, July 13th to July 16th. I encourage any of the commissioners to attend if they want to. I think you get a free registration if you want to go up there. There'll be representatives from all utilities throughout the state, and they'll have 3 days of technical sessions, a huge display by manufacturers of the equipment that we have, and I can tell you we'll probably have 20 or 30 people from Joint Water and Sewer there because they need to get more certification points, and probably they'll be the most most recognizable people, with the exception of the people from City of Savannah, for the utility at this conference.
Well, we'll have one employee that is very recognizable at the meeting. I won't give away all the spoilers, but I'll just say Mr. Vo will be wearing an awful lot of yellow at the meeting coming up.
He'll be accepting donations if you want to.
Yeah, yes, he'll be accepting donations for the GAWP Scholarship Fund while he's there.
He's always dressed up anyway. Okay, so if anybody wants to go, just let Donna know and she can get you registered. That's my report, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Meeting's adjourned.